Okay, y'all, let's get into the seed of man and the garden and tie some points of light together for us. Okay, now there is a tree of life and a tree of good and evil, and these kind of, okay, they were kind of struck by lightning. And after they're struck by lightning, this lightning is staying in there and they're just kind of wrapping around it, okay? But this tree of life has sprinkled out seeds. And these seeds of men have grown up. And like the earth and the sun, okay, they've come together to create man, all right? So man is like that, the living earth system, and it's given light and energy and life or whatever through that invisible spark, that light that is inside of us, okay? So like the sun gives life to the earth, that spark that's given when the sperm meets the egg that creates the spirit of us, that is what that's the sun inside of us, okay? So that's how we are the members of Christ as the body, okay? Jesus is the begotten son. He's that one light and the son of man. So he's the earth and the sun coming in as one, showing man they can do all things, okay? So as he's broken up and fragmented out, okay, to make the world, to make this projection that we live in, we are all parts of his projection, okay? So this is where we're all reflecting his light to do the things of whatever's being shown, okay? So this is where it takes eyes and ears to hear whatever, because there's different parts of the body, and some parts of the body are tied to the spirit, some are tied to the flesh, the carnal body, and then some are tied to the soul, because the body is comprised of the body, soul, and spirit, okay? So as Christ is gathering up the body, when Jesus returns, that is being done now, and that's where the Spirit of God, the Spirit of Jesus wasn't ever affected on the cross, okay? The old body, okay, on the cross, it went into physical subjection, okay? It was spirit and blood and all this other stuff, right? So that would be the carnal church, the ones who think they're worshiping Jesus. God, forgive them, they know not what they do. So they're going to go into the carnal subjection, okay? They're thrown under and buried for 3 days, and they're going to, or 3 years and such, and they're going to rise again with a new body, okay? So this is all going to be playing out as far as with man as well. Because Jesus is returning inside of us, and we are the temple. So depending where you're at in the temple, how you've taken care of your temple, how you've put the roots out there or whatever, okay? So we are the seed of man. That seed of man is being taken into the garden, okay? So this world is the garden in a matter of speaking, and our roots, okay, it has access to everything, all right? If you've ever gardened, you'll know that, well, with a living soil system, even if you haven't gardened, you may not know these things, but with a living soil system, your natural world out there, right, where you go hiking and biking and the forest that doesn't need to be taken care of, the wild world, okay? That all takes care of itself. The bugs, the microorganisms, the droughts, the rains, the heat, the cold, everything just survives and keeps on ticking, okay? That's how we're meant to be, all right? But it's through man we aren't able to do these things, okay? Because we've taken from that tree of good and evil, all right? That's man's stuff, creating things out of the hardness of their own hearts, okay? And God has given us life for all things for us to maybe enjoy, okay? So with nature and stuff, right? We have the ability to try all things, okay? Some things we may see or smell or whatever, right? We may not want to take part of that just by that, okay? Some people may want to experiment with it or whatever, all right? And then they may be turned off of it or whatever, or they may try it and like it or whatever kinds of things. This can go with anything, okay? They want to try and tell us that it's an addiction if we like to do it every day or whatever kind of. It's just a word they created so they can create bondages on men to make you feel bad so you can go to the church to try and get counseling, all this other bullshit, okay? You don't need counseling. You're God. You are made in the image of God, and he has given us the tree of life to partake from. We may not want to do it all the time. We may not even want to do whatever, okay? But it's our choice. We can't condemn another man because he wants to do it or whatever kind of thing, okay? So this is kind of where man, that seed of man has been taken and he's been put into a garden, a greenhouse kind of condition, okay? And a greenhouse is kind of like your city. It's your artificial world, your artificial firmament, your artificial environment, all that kind of stuff. And you need the beast system kind of thing to control it. You got to control your humidity levels. You got to, if you're doing a hydroponic garden, the hanging garden, okay, where everything's lifted up on high and they closer to the sun and such. They're not grounded to those types of things, okay? Their water levels and stuff, that's a very delicate garden, okay? If you're not grounded to the earth, your garden is even more finicky, all right? The ones who are in the pots and such, they get your life, it gets to that black pot, and you start seeing that darkness. Well, I was told I can't go out there. I was told that whatever, and I feel this heat on it, okay? It feels like hell, like they're teaching or whatever, but my roots and stuff, I can't go past that. I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna stay here and just live in my own little world, okay? I'm not gonna go see what's out there. So, with a hydroponic garden or a raised bed garden or whatever, the roots are only access to certain areas and certain things, okay? A living soil system, the living soul system, the living gardens, all right? You can make your root, you can bring that living soil indoors, okay? You can let those roots reach abound, okay? What seems like infinity, okay? And that's kind of like what the what the grocery stores are, okay? Or like what American freedom, there's really no freedom. It's just the same shit brought to you in 6 different ways, okay? It's like the movies. It's the same 6 stories over and over again, all right? It's the 600, 3 scores, and 6, okay? Either way, the same 6 things happening in everybody's lives all at once, and it's all coming down to one thing, all right? At least as far as like if you're living in this box unit, box container, this hydroponic table or whatever, like you live in those rock wool cubes, all right? Your roots are like those rock wool cubes, and it's attached to that box. It lives by the box. It doesn't go past the box. It's contained by the box. There's no life outside the box, and all those types of things, okay? If you live in a living soil system, your roots and feelers, they can go out into the wilds. They can explore the darkness. There is no darkness. Everything is light, okay? Because everything is brought to you by God to give life, okay? And as a living soil system, you may not want that exudate if you're this type of plant, or you may want this exudate if you're that type of plant, okay? So it's your choice what kind of your fruit you're going to be fruiting that season or whatever, right? Because a garden, when you come into a garden, right, I got to quit saying right. Anyways, always blasting the right. I'm always saying right. Well, I guess I got to, because I got to bring in a new right. So who knows what's right? Everything's right. Everything's wrong. Either way, right on, right on. Jesus is coming to judge in righteousness. So this is where the right is going to rise up. Jesus is going to come in through the right, and he's going to judge the carnal man. The carnal man is going to be judged as far as the rainbow spectrum as well, but that leads to bloodshed on the other side, and it's just the civil war that's coming to take out that, and then what's left over will be taken into the camps to finish out the FEMA days and then whatever else, all right? But that's a whole nother topic. So everybody's lives are contained in these roots, all right? These pots that were given, these different garden systems that were given. And if you're not growing in a living soil system, right? When the heat of the day or that cold winter comes in, you may not be able to grow stuff in the winter time. It may not be conditioned properly in the heat of the summertime. You will get problems with the water heating up. You may get problems with anaerobic conditions in the water and algae and all those types of things. So as that comes over, the heat of the day comes up. There's all the shadow areas are gone. New things are exposed in the garden, new bugs or whatever, right? As the sun's shining over, so new things are going to be exposed, right? So when that heat of the day comes on, that hydroponic garden with the bad water, the anaerobic conditions, all that stuff, it's going to take out those bad plants and bad fruits and all that. Okay, this is where you get the harvest of the wheat and tares, and the tares and the tears are going to be part of the church and the worldly people, and the people have gone and got the trick and treatment, and depending on if you got the 1, 2, or 3 marks of spot or 4 or whatever, okay, that will depend on your judgment. Okay, so we are that seed of man, and we have that choice to become the sons of God. And when we become that born again spirit, we are given the ability to go out and have that living life, to have that living soul, to have that living soil system, to where our roots can expand and reach out and touch all things in this world, to where no man can tell us right from wrong, so we can go and explore what is good for us, what is bad for us, okay? Because we have a tree of life that we can eat from, or we have a tree of good and evil that we can eat from. And right now, since the world is in the evil one, everyone, that evil light has been transformed as good, and everybody thinks that evil shit is good. So this is why they're going to run after the money, which is the root of evil, and all those other things, because they don't understand that Jesus is coming to get rid of the evil and to bring in the good and that tree of life, to where we can do all things, to where man doesn't suffer the consequences of the flesh. Okay, so a man will come in and regroup with Jesus. He will reset the body, and the body will go through probably a dormant stage of being married to Christ, in a matter of speaking. And then as this happens, the disease and all these things will go away and be reset, and AI and Jesus and all the coming on will rebuild man and make man into a living machine, to where it can live again for 800, 900 years, and then it will start the cycle over again, to where man falls from the garden, and then the same thing, okay? And then Satan rises 1,000 years later, just like it's done today, okay? It's the same thing that's going on today. It's just the reflection of the mirror, and there's nothing new under the sun. You just got to be able to follow the sun and be the Son of God, right? And how do you do that? You believe in God, okay? Jesus is just the access to truth, all right? Man, that's so much to... anyways, we'll just end it here, guys. Don't be a hydroponic garden, okay? Be a living soil system. Be a living garden. Be a wild garden. They thought John, who was a wild man eating locusts and honey, which was not of the law, okay? That they thought he was Jesus, the Messiah, okay? He was a wild dude. Jesus came with the robbers and thieves. He was a wild dude. All right, but at the same time, he's pretty chill. So, either way, guys, it's all there for y'all to go back and get it all in. All right, you got limited time to be passing the information and to be cleansing the temple and to be whatever. All right, if it was me, okay, and I want to do a crash course on detoxing the body and putting the body into subjection of, as far as food and drink and such, only drink water, okay? And maybe for 3 months, okay? I did it 6 months, maybe 3 months for some people, to do nothing but salads and raw veggies and fruits and stuff for 3 months to 6 months, okay? You gotta do that minimum, all right? And then you can start working in the other stuff, but you gotta start cleansing, all right? The vegan diet is not long-term, it is short-term, and I expect that vegan diet to come in to help detoxify all of America soon.